Moving from 4v4 to 7v7 is one of the biggest transitions in youth soccer. To us, it looks small, but for U8 players stepping into U9, the pitch is bigger, the team is larger, the tactics start to matter more. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming. In this video, we'll break it down in three parts. What changes when you go from 4v4 to 7v7, how to build each position off what kids already know, and how to introduce 7v7 to players who are totally new to soccer. So let's get into it. At U8, kids often play 4v4 in a diamond shape, a simple setup with a defender, two wide midfielders, and a striker. No goalkeeper. Lots of touches, lots of action. There are two mandatory instructions for the players and one optional. Firstly, each player is generally moving within half of the field. The striker only on the attacking half, defender only on the defensive half. The left midfielder on the left half of the field and the right midfielder on the right half. Secondly, the team expands when attacking and compresses when defending. And that's it. No more mandatory tactical lesson. The only optional lesson is to explain that the players can run into space and the wingers can run past the attacker. Because of the diamond shape, players rarely run beyond or think that about passes into space. They pass only to feet. However, this is only for more advanced teams. And if they're able to grasp it, they're ready for 7v7. At U9, we stepped into 7v7. That means a goalkeeper, two defenders, three midfielders, typically wide players, and a central mid, and one attacker. This is often played into a 2-3-1 formation, which keeps things balanced and builds off of the diamond they already are used to. Think of 7v7 as an expanded version of 4v4. Of course, there are things like offside lines, but they're inconsequential to the general plan that we try to create here. You're not starting over, you're adding layers. So the two defenders and the central midfielder are the truly new players. The other positions are carried over from 4v4. So how do we take what players learned in 4v4 and use it in 7v7? So let's go position by position. From 4v4 defender to a center back. If they're good at staying behind and reading danger, they will fit well as one of the two center backs. Teach them spacing and covering each other. One pressures and one covers. That's new. This is the first time they will defend as a pair. So they should already be thinking of their roles of who will be the aggressor and who will be the cover. This doesn't mean that this role is always dedicated to one player. Instead, they keep changing. From 4v4 wide mid to a winger or an outside midfielder. They now have to learn how to track back and defend. They always help in defense, but now they have much more ground to cover. So it will be challenging for them to know when to press and when to fall back. Encourage them to stay wide, offer width, and be brave on the ball. From 4v4 striker to a striker or a central mid. A 4v4 attacker who was active and worked hard off the ball can either stay up top in 7v7 or drop into central midfielder to influence the game more. You want to put the best player in the center mid so that they get most player actions. However, you don't want to limit the development of the other players. Even that player can benefit from experience in playing in different positions. And then there is the new kid in town, the goalkeeper, often a rotational role at this age. Make sure that everybody gets a chance. I try to never give more than one half for a player at the goal. Firstly, because you will limit their technical development as a field player, but also you will prevent other players from experience being a goalkeeper. Let players experiment on goal. You might be surprised who loves it. The main attribute is not height or athleticism reflexes, but the level of concentration. The main advice is rotate. At U9, kids shouldn't be locked into one position. Let them try everything: defending, midfielder, attacking, even goalkeeper. After all, I always tell them that everybody defends and everybody attacks. The attack starts from the goalkeeper, and the defense starts from the striker. This builds more complete players, avoid burnouts, and help you see hidden talents. It is very common that some kids at U9 are touching the ball for the first time, and that's okay. You don't need to rush them through the 4v4 stage. You can recreate it within the 7v7 training. As you noticed earlier, we didn't spend too much time on the wingers or the striker. At this age, they're the ones with the most freedom and smallest liability. Also, they have similar complexity as the 4v4 positions. With only one instruction to follow, such as stay on the left half of the field, the new players can easily fit in. So give them a simple position. Don't overcoach tactics early and give them freedom. The game will teach them some things. For example, if they're playing as a striker, they might run out of breath to track back. That's okay. Once they play on the wing, that will not be an option anymore. They will make mistakes and they will learn. You will be there to pick them up and make sure that it is still fun, the enthusiasm is there, and they really learn from the experience. And a bonus tip: pair new players with the more experienced teammates. Create natural leaders and role models on the pitch. You should put the expectation of the more experienced players to guide the new players. They will be held by you and monitor, of course, but the feeling of being a team is starting to become very important at this age. The move from 4v4 to 77 can feel big, but when done right, it opens up a whole new level of learning and enjoying the game. Start by recognizing the familiar. Build roles gradually and welcome new players, beginner or not, with patience and encouragement. I hope you like this breakdown. And if you're a coach or a parent going through this transition, drop your questions or tips in the comments. Help each other grow the game. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.